Hi, this is Jasper Fowlin, author of A Raw Hummingbird, and I'm going through a series on how writing can really help heal and transform people who have experienced sexual violence, such as sexual abuse or rape, either by a stranger or somebody that is close to them. And I have just really come to value writing as an incredible therapeutic tool and gift, really, therapeutic gift for people such as me who I have experienced both of those things, and it was a wonderful journey to really get into the writing process over a period of 8 years. So I want to address the issue of writing about rape. If you read my book, the first several pages exclusively deal with these things. And I wrote, there's one particular memory that I have of being raped by my partner at the time, which really has stuck with me and is really relevant to the story of A Raw Hummingbird, which deals with the first woman that I fell in love with. Deal with is a funny way of saying it, but it's a story about the first woman I fell in love with. And during that period of time, I had an ex-partner actually. Anyway, I won't give too much of it away in terms of the storyline, but the processing of such an experience through writing. For me personally, I wrote this piece, I think 83 or 86 times. I did it over a period of a couple of years, but most of the different versions of this actually happened in a couple of days. It was one of those really obsessive times, like I need to write about this right now, or like I'm going to die mentalities, and it was incredible because I went from talking about the rape from a step to step. This is what happened, then this is what it was said, this is what happened, this is what, just very like stepping it through, which and doing it in that way, I've now become aware of a particular psychotherapy processes that really help. So okay, this is a little bit of neuroscience, which I think is really important. If you experience something very traumatic, it is processed in a part of your prefrontal cortex called the amygdala. Okay, all emotions are processed in the amygdala. Now, the amygdala doesn't have any temporal information in it. And what I mean by temporal is it doesn't have any sense of time. So if you experience something, say for instance a car accident, and then 3 years or 30 years later, you're in a similar car and you hear similar screeching sounds, your amygdala is going to remember that, and because it doesn't have a concept of time as it's past, it's going to flick you right back into that experience. And that is what post-traumatic can be, that type of like, oh my God, like I'm experiencing this again right now, and it's horrible, right? It can happen with smells. A lot of people know that, like smell really is an elicitor of memories in a really profound way. And so if you don't then move let me say it positively, if you move your memories from your amygdala, which is in your prefrontal cortex that doesn't have any sense of time, if you move it to the other parts of the brain that do have a sense of time, then you can have a emotional distance, and you can say, oh, that car accident happened 30 years ago and I don't need to freak out right now. I'm safe. So the way that you move a memory from the amygdala to the rest of your brain is by talking. This is really interesting and really speaks to the power of therapy that so many people say. And I personally, I had a counselor in high school, and he's like my second, like he's a father figure, like very important man. And going in there every week and talking was apparently far more profound on a neurological level than I knew at the time. So in the same way, with writing, if you write something like I did 83 or 86 times about a really traumatic experience, it can help you deal with and contextualize what you experienced. And in terms of the creative aspect of it, you can recreate yourself in that space. You can say, okay, I've written about this as being straight up exactly what happened 12 different times, and now I'm going to look at it in terms of if I'm a victim, if I'm powerful, if I'm a person that's healed from it, if I'm a person who hasn't healed from it, so that your words really, you get to determine your life. You get to take your power back. You get to say, this is me, this is what I experienced, and this is how I deal with that. These are all the things that I was experiencing. This is what I believe and I want to experience myself now. It's a very empowering process, and it's very healing. Writing is so important to me, and I appreciate completely that there are many different forms, and of course there's going to be all the different mediums, but writing is just phenomenal. It can really catalyze your growth, and I'm so excited to be talking to you about this. So, okay, I just looked at the time. I've been talking for 6 minutes and 50 seconds, and so I'll stop here, but definitely want to hear your comments on writing ever being a really healing thing for you. And yeah, we will continue with our overexposure series, which is what the light behind me is about. Okay, bye. Much love. Much love.